Well, hi everyone. Sunday evening, 5th of July, 4th of July weekend. It was a beautiful day. It was a family event in the UK. I joined via Zoom, lots of virtual visitors. It was very nice. Obviously not as nice as being there in person, but very nice. Hope you all had good July 4th in the States and enjoy the fireworks. Watch some great firework displays from on high. They call this the upper desert, and I am uptown a little bit. Okay, there's an interesting animal moving around. Rabbit? No, that doesn't look like. Yeah, it is. It's a rabbit. Maybe. Let's go take a closer look. No? Cat? Dog? Rabbit? No, it's a rabbit. Jackrabbit, big ears, bunny hop. And here we have the twin peaks of Ant Hill. One, no movement. And the other one, lots of movement. Busy. So what's going on? So most of you know that President Trump delivered a big speech on the side of Mount Rushmore. Very divisive speech. Very divisive speech. Pitting Americans against Americans and saying, protect our America by fighting in America. He appears to be promoting another civil war. And this is not a discussion about politics anymore. This is a discussion about what it means to be an American. And it's frightening. Actually, really, really frightening what is going on now, because I thought people's positions, red versus blue, north versus south, people who believe in racial equality versus people who don't, I didn't think it could get any more polarized. But when you have Commander-in-Chief whose playbook is deliberately creating an environment whereby one party is focused on destroying another, and both parties are Americans, it's very disturbing. So Trump got in. He didn't make the popular vote, but he got in on our system of electoral college. And he got into power probably based on the fact that he was not a politician. It was not going to be politics as normal. He's a businessman. He's going to change the world, etc. But the reality of what's going on is I'm as fed up with you as you are, most of you, with politics as usual. But the bigger picture is, does in fact our political system work anymore? Does democracy work anymore? And these are huge issues. And we can't discuss them all today, but definitely worthy of a conversation. Many. The totalitarian regimes of Russia and China, during the period where Trump is trying to pit Americans against Americans and pretend coronavirus doesn't exist, the reality is that Putin has just engineered president for life. Putin is the strongman of Russia, has been for many years, got around the system by flip-flopping between president and prime minister with the eager collaboration of whoever was not that, whoever was the prime minister at the time he was president, and vice versa. Now he has received a constitutional change, approved president for life, the dictatorship that he strived for. And it seems clear to me that his aspirations are to put back the US. The first sign of that was the takeover of Crimea, where NATO basically looked the other way, so did the US. So-called sanctions doesn't seem to have halted Russia for a moment. And at the same time, Xi Jinping in China looks like he has strengthened his position in a similar way, and on top of that, in front of the world, he just took control of Hong Kong 30 years early. The rights of Hong Kong citizens were supposed to be guaranteed till 2050, and it's only 2020, and now China is exerting significant security control. The one China, two systems system is dead. Coronavirus is completely out of control because of a lack of leadership. And because of coronavirus, our economy is in the toilet. And we haven't seen the worst of it by far yet. We're still in the heyday. People are still on unemployment and getting government funding. When that stops, when that runs out, then we'll really see 2008 and the Great Depression may look like a walk in the park. We don't know yet. But what is for sure is the refreshing change of, let's choose a non-politician with no experience. He's a businessman. He doesn't belong to anyone. He doesn't answer to any lobbies. That really hasn't worked out at all. Even the premise hasn't worked out. His own self-interests have been just as bad or worse as being swayed by lobbyists or owing certain parties for his support to power. But his own self-interests are significantly more powerful to him. But this whole change in status, where the US has lost the respect, and not only the respect, but the aura. No one is afraid of the US anymore. Russia's doing what it wants. China's doing what it wants. Europe feels abandoned and is going its own way because it feels it has no choice. It's certainly not relying on the US anymore. And just one symbolic sign of that is Europe declaring no one from the US can fly there right now until further notice. But that's just a symbol. The reality is that the US is in complete disarray. It's a shambles. So whatever your political leanings are, you know, there's 10, 20, 30% of you that you won't have been listening to this after the first sentence. It's just the way it is right now. It's either Trump's way or no way. And his followers, his ardent followers, believe that. And this whole concept of extremist, leftist, fascists, without any mention of right-wing fascists, right-wing extremists, is all the evidence you need. There can't be one thinking person in this country that believes that for every potential extremist left-wing fascist, there is not an extremist right-wing fascist. Do you honestly believe, Trump supporters, that all of the right-wing are good guys? And it's all of these left-wing fascists. Incidentally, the FBI has yet to arrest one during these protests, these riots. They find no collusion or organization, no Antifa members, nothing, no domestic terrorists, anarchists, violence, for many reasons, may be paid by nation states. Certainly it's in Russia's and China's interest to make sure that America's democratic system doesn't work. Has been for many, many years, and it's more true today than anything. Russia wants the US to fail. China wants the US to fail. Trump is giving it to them on a plate. He is creating exactly the environment that all Russia and China have to do is press a few buttons on a machine that Trump has already created. Don't be manipulated. I see such meaningless anger, I see memes that, just they express frustration, but they're not constructive. I see mindless videos that are so obviously fake. And remember, every fake news article or video or audio recording has elements of truth, or any good ones anyway. They all have elements of truth. It's the interpretations of what you're seeing that are the manipulations. I took the day off yesterday to enjoy a tranquil 4th of July, but I gotta say that at a time when our president and his administration had the opportunity to pull everyone together, so many people are going through such a hard time. Good people, frontline responders, small business owners, janitorial supervisors and their staff, cleaners. Cleaners are being asked to do so much more than they ever did before. Are they getting paid more to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Certainly not what they're worth. School teachers. Trump in his speech said school teachers are teaching hate in our schools. The only school teachers I know love this country. And they love their job. And as dramatically underpaid as they are, they still do it anyway to the best of their ability. Teaching hate, that's only Trump's playbook. That's no teacher that I know. It's disgusting. And now we have to put up with this until January of next year, even if we know the answer in November. But it's not so long. This whole year has been a lightning strike. We're already 6 months through it. COVID-19 and the realization of Black Lives Matter has pretty much taken up the whole of the first half of the year. And it's happening. It's a big deal when Mississippi decide they're going to change their state flag and the Washington Redskins decide they're going to change their name. And Black Lives Matter in giant letters is printed in Hollywood. And the movement catches. all over the world and at every Premier League soccer match. A sport that's watched by billions, literally. Every one of the players at the beginning of the game, since the restart 2 weeks ago, takes a knee. The beginning of the game. Black Lives Matter. It's on their uniforms. In the UK. So well done. If George Floyd had to die for that, at least he didn't die in vain. But the big picture is the US is drowning. And the changes that have happened right now, changes that just happened in Russia and China, it is unlikely that we can do anything about it now. It is unlikely that the next president of the United States can fix the damage that's just been done. This president seemed to have one agenda: create division and hate. And since he did not have a platform of his own, the only platform was destroy everything that Obama did. When you are a leader, you have two choices. You look in the rearview mirror or you look forward. True leadership always looks forward. It learns the lessons of the past and it looks forward. There is only now and tomorrow. I have never seen such a disaster in leadership. Not politics, I'm very careful with these words. I've never seen such a disaster in leadership as the current administration. That's my thoughts for the day. You take care.